really think about all those different criticism that you are receiving in your life and all that type of judgment and see what is coming from. I want to teach you or show you 5 ways that will allow you to really reduce that fear or allow you to even overcome it if you can. Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Spark series. I am your host, Asmâa Methqal, and today I want to talk about ways of how we can overcome our fear of judgment. That is a very hot topic, and a lot of people are going through that. But it's really how we can learn to never fear the opinion of other people, how we can silence our own inner critic and our outer critic. So let's go. So the first thing I wanted to share is that when we think about the fear of judgment, I want you to understand that this is an acquired fear. It's a fear that we have built throughout our life and our experiences, whether we got rejected or the disappointment that we had or any pain. And so we were able to, in a way, build this fear of judgment. And that's why we truly fear it, because we don't like how icky it feels when we are in it, right? And so what I want to do is I want to teach you or show you 5 ways that will allow you to really reduce that fear or allow you to even overcome it if you can. And so let's go. The first tip that I would like to share is one that Brené Brown said so beautifully. And basically, it's a quote that I love, and it says, "If you are not in the arena, I don't care about your opinion." And what that basically means is only take opinions and comments from people you respect or from people that are doing similar work as you. That means that if I am on the stage right now, I'm doing a video and someone criticizes me, then I will really put a lot of weight on someone who is doing similar work or doing a better work, whether it's a mentor, someone that I respect, or someone that is doing similar work. Because by doing that, we will have a great conversation, and we know that is a constructive feedback that we can build on. And so really think about all those different criticism that you are receiving in your life and all that type of judgment and see what is coming from. Because usually people that are doing similar work as you, or they are in the same arena as you, like Brené Brown says, that means that they can totally understand where you're coming from, the fears you're going through, and how you can up-level your own game. So it's coming in a way that they love you because of all the things that you are, and they are helping you to become better, instead of other people that are just like belittling you and making you feel smaller without any reason or nothing constructive that will serve you. So that will be the first thing. And my second tip is to basically be aware of your own inner critic, right? Because we are the worst in giving ourselves opinions. Like, we always think the worst of us. We know all our fears. We know all the things are not good. And when we hear comments and critics from other people, we kind of believe them because our inner critic itself used to tell us that over and over and over again. And so there were always going to be a place where you're going to be feeling shame, or there is that element of comparison, or there is that element of scarcity or rejection, right? Or also someone in your life, whether it was a parent or a teacher or coworker or relationship that didn't work, that always told you something that really stuck and that stays with you. And so listen to that inner critic and understand when it's coming from and when that happened. So the idea is not to reject what that inner critic is trying to tell you, but basically to listen to what it has to say. In a way, you are giving it a voice, but you're not giving it a vote, right? And so that's like a really subtle change. So give it a voice, listen to it, hear it, acknowledge that it's there, and at the same time, keep going, keep moving on. And that's how it's connected with our third tip, that don't give up. Don't let other people define you, right? You really need to show up for yourself. And the moment that you want to be out there in the world and really bring in your vision and your mission, where you want to create, then do it from this place of courage. And so don't let other people define who you are, or like get you into this place where you just want to stay small, right? And so bring that back. And really, one of the quotes that I love as well that says, what other people think of me is none of my business. And it's true, because in a way we can never change someone else's opinion about us. So why even like put so much energy in that? So that will be like my third tip. And my fourth one would be about validation, right? So one of the elements that it's connected to judgments is that because we are seeking so much validation from others, and when we don't get it, that's when we are afraid of that rejection, that fear of judgment. And so I want you to think about it in terms of what can I do to allow myself to increase my own inner validation. So I'm not looking for validation from outside, but I'm looking at it from myself. I know enough who I am, what I stand for, my strengths, my weaknesses. And so that way, when you are receiving this type of judgment, you are aware of it. You're already like, yeah, sounds about right. I know enough myself to know what that is, right? So it's not defining you, like we mentioned earlier, but it's like really keeping you in check in terms of that is an external validation that I am seeking instead of just really being full and complete with my own inner validation. And when we think also about outside validation, I want you to be able to connect comment, praise that you will receive from someone, as well as a critic that you will receive for someone. And I want you to put the two as in the same weight. Because when you are seeking more praise, then again, that's a validation. Like you need other people to tell you how amazing and how incredible you are in order for you to keep going. And at the same time, when you receive a critic that really hurt you and that you really puts you down because you're really seeking that validation. But the moment you know enough yourself, then the two, you can give them the same weight. You can still appreciate one or the other, definitely. And the praises, we love them and we want more of them and we want to take them and appreciate them. But don't make them the center of everything that you do, right? And finally, I want you to be able to make a choice. I want you to be able to reframe that fear because, like we said earlier, it's an acquired fear. And so ask yourself the question of what if? Because we are really set up in a way that we're always looking for the worst case scenario. And that's where there's always that fear that happens. If I do this, this is what they're going to say, or who am I to do? Our imposter syndrome kicks in, and so many other things kicks in at the same time. But you can really ask yourself the same question, what if? But go from it from what is the best case scenario? What is the best thing that can happen to me in this moment? If I ended up still going forward and still writing that book, still doing that presentation, still creating this new course, still building my new business, etc., etc. Right? So go from it from that place. And so these are my 5 tips to help you overcome judgments and that inner and outer critic. And until the next video, ciao, ciao.